Good day, everybody. Brian here from quantlabs.net. I just want to go over my experience with JavaScript, React, the framework. It's not a whole notion of JavaScript, the ecosystem, but I just want to give you my opinions on it as I've moved off of that, sort of, and moved into more Django which is part of Python's web platform. So experience is 10 days learning React. I put up two books I've read. They're not bad um, at explaining how and why React works. Um, but trying to work with it, implementing, it's a nightmare. It's all these dependencies, blah, 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 blah. It's not a good experience. So um, from what I understand, there's React, which is basically from what I'm seeing and others are saying, it's not it's just it's a complete hornet's nest, and you could see why when you're on a website and it suddenly blows up. It's probably done in React. I'll get in a minute why. But there's also JavaScript Node, which seems like to be pretty clean, as well as I didn't know Angular and some other frameworks, and then TypeScript was created to sit on top of JavaScript, as far as I know, and it's just to make life easier as a JavaScript alternative. So let me give you the experience from somebody who's making a career out of as a JavaScript developer. I mean, I will say they are getting a lot of contracts here and there, especially in this kind of economy, as bizarre as it is. So this person's getting work, which is good. It says something about JavaScript, but let's get into it. So this is what he said. JavaScript is the wild, wild west. It's a hack language. That's encouraging to know. Uh, JavaScript's kind of like C++. That's why I don't really use it a lot. I don't want to use it. Same with Java now, the way it's been bloated and blah, blah, blah. When you get into Python, you don't want to go back out of because of its ease of use. Continuing along, for instance, when a library or package is updated, the developers never consider backwards compatibility or deprecation. That just goes to show you the attitude of the so-called JavaScript, maybe namely React developers. And that's why you have the problems in the dependency hell and integrating. It's like basically band-aiding things together. It's pretty pathetic. So when you update your code to the new libraries, everything breaks. A real pain in the ass. And you're getting paid for this. Sounds like the lonely nights of C and C++. If you use Angular, it's a framework as opposed to React, which is a library. Angular follows MVC, where React just grabbed libraries off the shelf and pray. It's probably a good way to put it. I've been working on front end for a while. It makes me crazy. Yeah, I mean, I will say trying to implement stuff in um, React, I couldn't get a lot of it running. Just there's no standards like in Python to get stuff running. Uh, I don't even really know the Django, but I got stuff running locally as a website on my laptop, no problem, instantly. That's how good JavaScript, or sorry, that's how good the Django is, and same with Flask as well, which is all under the realm of Python. I have a theory of scripting languages treat them like a virus, where compiled languages are easier because of the code is central. Scripting languages uses so many different libraries and methods, it becomes difficult to understand and manage. I agree. I haven't seen that real problem in Python. I guess it's just better architected from a higher level. Oh, if you like the Django, you would like Rails too. Well, we know about Ruby on Rails. They're pretty similar. Plus, Rail jobs are plentiful and remote. Um, I can't really say about Rails, but one thing I'll say about Django, it's a pretty healthy demand for Django. Not so much with Flask, but I can't argue JavaScript has a lot of development needs for jobs and careers. But if you want to live a life of sanity, you might want to look at something else like the Django or Flask. You'll live a happier, wholesome life, I guess. So there you go. That's the general attitude of everything. If you want to know more about my experiences here, it sounds like people don't really care about my thoughts of putting together a tutorial on JavaScript or anything else. So I'm not going to do it. But that's how it stands. And I know I'll get a lot of flack from JavaScript developers. And you know what? I don't really care. Um, it's just something you're dealing with somebody who's been coding for a long time, uh, 40 plus years. That's how long I've been in the game. Um, and yeah, I like Python for a reason. And yeah, it's made me lazier and whatever, but I don't have any real issues with Python compared to not just not JavaScript, but JavaScript React, I guess. But if it's a clean JavaScript, I could see it being a good language and Node as well. But I can't really say I'm not really dug into it. But let me tell you where I'm going now. So like I said, I'm going to be focusing on the Django. Um, and the thing is with the Django, I am using I just bought it last night. It's considered, well, they say the number one most popular dashboard on the planet as a code base in JavaScript of all things. It's clean. In that regard, that's where you want to use JavaScript. So it's a good thing to learn off of with this framework. It's called Metronic, Metronic. I believe it's on Theme Forest. Their number one, uh, their number one, I guess JavaScript theme, and it's pretty good. And they have many front ends like React, Rails, uh, uh, Flask, the Django, and many others. So it's good to learn. Obviously, I'm using that as a front end for the news website I'm going to work on. So um, we'll leave it at that. I just want to let people know because I know people may or may not care about this JavaScript experience. People may not care where I'm going. That's fine. But I do have quite a few number of programmers that do want to know what's going on. Um, and let me explain. Well, it's turning into a long spiel, but anyways, um, everything I've been working on for the last 10 plus years with the quantlabs.net site is built on WordPress. WordPress is becoming very bloated. It's becoming very expensive to use. A lot of the plugins are getting expensive, and a lot of the plugins they don't play nice together. And you get to a point where you get kind of tired of it, so it plagues basically the performance of the website. So where I'm going with this Django and JavaScript and all that is to build out a custom website. I'll go on, I'll make another video after this about the features, but basically when you custom code and you own the source code, I could do without any restriction where I take this thing based upon demand and what people want. So that's why I'm doing this, and it's the Django and JavaScript, which I think is a better technology used for online now, whereas WordPress is it's hit its peak a number of years ago and it's declined and it's kind of stabilized. But it's time to get off those things and build your own website. And I probably would strongly recommend any entrepreneur doing it. Yeah, you need to kind of look at custom coding your own website these days. And that's about it. I'll talk to you later. If you're more interested, just sign up at thequantlabs.net/books. Things will be changing going into 2024 for sure. Radical change. I'll just call it the quantlabs.net version 2. And we'll leave it at that. Thanks for watching again. Quantlabs.net/books to continue the journey. Over and out.